Okay, final topic then. Ensuring the MDF program alignment to company goals. Again, I think we said at the top of the kickoff that quite often a lot of people don't think about how does my channel world fit into company level goals. And be keen if we start with you, Ryan, for this one. Is that something that happens in your organization, and how do you actually ensure then that your MDF programs are aligning to where the business wants you to go?
Yeah, we of course get sort of direction from our C-suite on what they're expecting from MDF, and it's an ongoing and regular discussion in terms of where the spend is going and what we're seeing in terms of results. So again, I think it's about that communication. Nobody is sitting in a box doing activity or spending the money without reporting back. Everyone's got a responsibility for what they're doing. So at extreme, that would be the geo-marketing managers who would ultimately be responsible for the performance, alongside us in the programs team who are controlling that budget. We're responsible for justifying that spend to the C level. But it's that open dialogue. I think I think in many organisations a program can be running. Maybe the execs are not aware, or they're not aware of very much of it, and then suddenly the question pops up, and by that point it's a very big question because nobody knows what's gone on for the last 6 or 12 months. Whereas if it's an ongoing discussion and there are regular check-ins, they don't have to be long check-ins, but just to give that visibility, it gives a lot more comfort, I think, to the C level of where that money is going, and that the program is going in the right direction.
Yeah, and Kenneth, you are one of the C-suite people. I know you have a lot of conversations with industry forum, including C-suite executives. Does this come up to the top table, Kenneth, from what you're hearing as a C-suite drilling down into wondering where these dollars are going?
Absolutely, John. Yeah, as Ryan said, they'll check in from time to time. So, I would say you never know when that check-in is going to come, which kind of is important to some of the earlier points, that those activities are aligned with the company goals. And, again, the guys gave some examples of those earlier on. It's really important that they do align to your channel strategy, which ultimately will align to your sales strategy. And this comes back to spending a little bit of time thinking about those activities to make sure that they do, and then measuring or putting in the relevant proofs of performance, so you can capture that information to measure the ROI of the program. So when that knock on the door comes on a Friday evening to justify the spend, you have the information to hand.
And Mimish, what's your experience of this particular one? Do you get a steward's inquiry, as we sometimes call it, about where your dollars are going?
Yes, we do. I think that's par for the course, as they say. Yeah, for sure. And I think, we do get that question, right? I mean, the companies are putting major investments into MDF and other programs as well. And I think we need to be good custodians of that expense and funding and that occurs, and be able to show the potential outcomes. So I think you have to be preemptive immediately. One thing I do want to share, and I think, Kenneth, that might have been a conversation that we might have had, that I think it's underestimated the value of what MDF does in terms of driving loyalty, right? So when you think about the different things that a partner expects from a vendor, whether it be deal registration, MDF, and so forth, right? These are things that if you do it right and you show true engagement with your partners, it can go a long way in terms of building loyalty for you as a vendor. And then the other thing as well, I think, Kenneth, you share that as well, is the awareness that expands, the brand awareness that it expands. And I just want to reiterate that because I think we missed that earlier. I think being able to educate your C-suite on all those things they're sort of, I call those in essence soft metrics, but they're very important. Right? Is you've got to think about that. You've got to think about ease of doing business. You've got to think about, how you can. So I think packaging that and making sure, for those of you that are listening and you're struggling with that, and it's not just hard investment, here's the ROI. That's part of it, but you've got to think of the big picture as well.
Great, that's super. Thanks, Mimish. Thanks, team. Brenda, can we just do the final poll, and then I'll do a quick wrap up with the panel, and then we'll move to poll analysis.
Yes, an easy one to finish off. So does your MDF program activities align with company goals? So obviously yes, no, we put in case people weren't sure. And then of course, obviously, if you don't currently run an MDF program for partners. Okay, we still have answers coming in, so I'll just give that another couple of seconds. Okay, and I'm going to close that off there now.